Okay, today we're going to talk about the layer and layer manager, and that is this button right up here within our scene editor window. And you notice right now it is grayed out because this function is only available for our classic render mode. So we're going to switch over to classic. We're going to jump over to our scene editor window again. We're going to click on our layer manager here, and what you can notice is that we have a front layer, a main layer, and a back layer. Now right now you can see the main layer has like a little icon in it because we have a blank scene loaded up, and whatever scene you have open is currently within the main layer. Now all scenes are designed to run in the main layer by default, but they can be played out in the front and back layers as well. And the layer manager can really be used to test the combination of scenes within these three layers. So what do we mean by that? I'm going to open up a new main scene here. So I just have a scene with some lower third graphics and some other information that we're going to display on the screen. And as I come up within this scene, I can turn containers on and off. So as I turn a couple of containers off, we have these graphics within our main layer here. Now I also want to test what it may look like with a different background when we run it or place it over a background. I also want to test another element to see how it aligns within this scene. So what I'm going to do is go search for the background that I want to test out, and it is already a scene, which means it has some animation and everything in it already. It's not just a still image. This is an actual scene that you can render, and what we can do is drag that up into the back layer here. And when we do that, you can see that it adds it to the back layer, and we can see how it looks with our other graphics. And since we have our main layer open, we could come over here and test our animation within this main scene to see how it looks. Now also I want to test how another element looks on top of that. So I can drag a third element onto the foreground here, and it's going to place this element on top. And now you can see that we can use this to help align it. So if I were going to at one point call up my front layer, which is this exclusive, I would want to make sure that it's aligned to my other element. And if we wanted to go edit this front layer right from this front view, we could just double click on it, and now it gives us this prompt. It says scene A1 has changed, which is our main layer. So we have the option to save it, ignore it, discard, cancel. We can ignore that, and now it has our front layer open within the scene tree so that we could just move this over and realign it to match wherever we need it, if we needed it, something like that. Now once you have your layers in there, you obviously can turn that on or off. There's an active button. Once you switch that, it turns to inactive. So if we wanted to hide our background, we just turn that off, and then if you just want to hide your front layer, you can hide that as well. That will no longer render. If you are using the layer manager, you still have access to your grid system, so you could come down here, grid, turn that on, and use that within your layer manager too if it helps align the scenes that you need to align. To remove a scene from the layer manager, just take that and drag that to the trash can. It will give you a prompt. We can save it, we can discard it, we can cancel. Now to get rid of a layer from the layer manager, we just have to slide that to the trash can, and that gets rid of the layer. And now you can see that there is a blank or default option here for us. If we wanted to get rid of our front layer, drag that one to the trash too. Now since we double clicked on it and had opened it, it's going to give us a prompt here. It's going to ask us to save it, discard it, or cancel it. I'm just going to hit discard, and that's going to get rid of that layer manager. We're back to a blank box here, and then here is our main scene that we still have open.